Ben's Alumni Board. Before we begin today's session, please note that Judy will answer questions throughout the session. So if you have any questions for today's speaker, please enter them into the chat box at the bottom of your screen. This session will be recorded and posted on social media within 2 to 3 business days. Today, we're joined by Judy Zimmer from the class of 1984. Judy is the president and executive coach of Coachology US, who will show us the top 3 ways to leverage LinkedIn, a powerful professional networking platform. Judy is a proud Benny alumna. After a successful career in sales and operations, Judy started her own business as an executive coach and speaker. As an entrepreneur, she's focused on helping her clients become more confident and innovative leaders. She also provides career advice, LinkedIn support, and informational interviews for Bennies and Johnnies. When not working in her home office, Judy enjoys reading, volunteering, and cooking. At this point, I'll turn things over to Judy.
Thanks, Mary. Good morning, everyone. There you all are. It's great to see everyone. Lots of fun faces on the screen. So I'm delighted to be with all of you. And my goal here is to hopefully share a few ideas with you on LinkedIn, specifically to answer some of your questions. So Anne will be watching the chat box and letting me know if you have a question. And don't be shy. If you want me to highlight your profile for something specific, this is going to be through live. This is like live LinkedIn and what we're going to be looking at. But I have a question for all of you. So head over to the chat box and I'd like you to answer this question. Why should you be on LinkedIn? Why should anyone be on LinkedIn? What's the purpose? And we'll wait for a few responses to come in. And then Anne, I'll have you share a couple of those, please. Oops, and Anne, oh, there you go.
A lot of connections, professional networking, making new business relationships, helping others, sharing information, to engage with our network of people. A lot of networking, a lot of relationship building to grow in your professional field. Yeah.
Thank you. So the person who said helping others, that is why you want to be on LinkedIn. And if we're to zero in specifically for this group, how about to help other Johnnies and Bennies? How cool would that be? I mean, there's lots of ways we can engage with the schools, right? And our community at large. But if you think of LinkedIn as one of your top tools for helping other people, hopefully that will shift how you look at the whole platform. So I'm going to give you my top 3 ways to leverage LinkedIn right out of the chute. And then what I'm going to do is head over to the platform and highlight some of the profiles of people who are on screen. So here are the top 3 ways. The first one is to have a completed profile. In order to help someone wants to come and look at your page. If they went to Adam Herbst's page and didn't see that picture of him, something would be missing, right? If you've ever gone to an open house on a Sunday and the people have moved out, all the furniture's gone, that's how I describe going to your LinkedIn page when it's not completed. So the number one way to leverage the platform is to have a completed profile. And I'm going to show you a couple really good examples from folks who are on this call in just a minute. The second way is to connect with more Bennies and Johnnies. So Anne, do people have access to the list of participants from this class this morning?
They don't, but we could definitely share that with the group.
So what I would encourage you to do while you're on the platform is maybe jot down some names of people that you see that you're perhaps not connected to, but the power of the tool is in the connections. And so when someone calls me and says, hey, Judy, do you know Mary Kavanaugh? I'm like, Mary Kavanaugh, Mary Kavanaugh. Oh my gosh, yes, Mary's a Benny. I know Mary. having more connections is another great way to leverage this tool. And then the third thing, which might sound unusual to some of you, is if you remember back, now I graduated in 1984, and I know that seems like an eternity, but I was just talking to my beautiful nephew who took his little spring break trip to Florida this year, and I was recounting my spring break trip freshman year to Daytona Beach, which is now filled with high rises for seniors. Things have changed a little bit. I remember, I vividly remember what that experience was like. So number 3 is please reach out to a current student, whether they're at St. Ben's or St. John's or at another school. You would not believe, first of all, how much you can learn from them about social media, but reach out to them because we all remember that lonely feeling. I certainly remember that lonely feeling of, you know, I like to tell people I left St. John's and St. Ben's with, I had 0 connections on my LinkedIn profile at that time. The platform didn't exist, but I still had 0. I mean, like I didn't know anyone who had graduated and was actually working, which sounds amazing, but it's true. So the third way to really leverage the tool is to use it for its purpose, which is helping other people. So now with that set aside, I want to go into the platform. And Patrick, tell me if you are online with us this morning. I don't see you, but maybe hop into the chat box and let us know if you're there. I want to highlight Patrick's profile for a couple reasons. So first of all, you'll see Patrick has a very complete profile, right? So he's got his picture. He's got a picture of downtown Minneapolis in his, this is called your banner up at the top. And then Patrick works in healthcare. He is taking advantage of one of the new features that is only available on the the phone app. So LinkedIn has a phone app. Do you see here how Patrick has 4 lines, and this is called his headline of what he does and who he is. LinkedIn recently expanded in 2020 the amount of data you can have up in this headline, but you can only access it from the phone app. So you go over to the phone app, add it there, and it'll show up here on screen. So right away, we know he's a healthcare leader, value-based career, authentic, innovation, lean. We can learn a lot about him just from that. Patrick has over 500 connections. If you want to know how many connections Patrick has, it's down here. Patrick has 4,337 connections. Now, if you are not connected to Patrick, I would strongly encourage you to do so. Patrick is the type of person, all you have to say is, I'm a Johnny or a Benny, I'd love to connect. And I promise you'll hear from Patrick. Why do I know that? First of all, because I know him, but check out what Patrick has right in his About section. Hi, I am Patrick, let's meet. And he gives you the URL to his calendar. So again, it's a very friendly way of greeting people and saying, hey, here's who I am. I'll show you, my profile says something very similar. My headline says, how can I help you? How can I help you make a connection? So again, right away, people know I'm probably going to be willing to help that person or help you with something. So if you're not connected with those individuals, let them know. Now, who has a question for me? Something that's a mystery for you about LinkedIn that I can help answer. And do we have any questions in the chat box?
Not yet, but I'm sure people are feverishly typing right now. So
Not
we'll give
yet.
it a second.
Awesome. So then I'm going to pick on Jay, who, so there's a reward for logging on early. And Jay, I know you're there because Jay was one of the first people logged onto the platform. So, and Jay is in the Bahamas, or maybe Jay, you're not in the Bahamas right now, but that's where you are. So Jay, if you want to say hello in the chat box. What I'd like to do, Jay, is give you a couple tips on how you could improve your profile page, if that's okay with you. So, so first of all, what do we notice about Jay's page? So this is the generic banner. So Jay, just adding a banner on the top of your profile would help. And of course, we want to see a picture of you, right? We want to see who you are. But what we know about you is that you're a sales manager. You've got 54 connections. So the algorithm on LinkedIn, you know, what runs behind the scenes, loves to see at least a minimum of 100 connections. And so one of the recommendations I would have for you, Jay, is to go ahead and add some connections. And you're probably going to get more connections once you add a photo and a banner. If we scroll down, we see you've had some activity there, doing some work, doing some volunteer work, which is great. And we know a little bit about who you're doing some volunteer work for. So that's awesome. So I would just recommend completing a little bit more on the profile.
Judy, we have a question.
Great.
They want to know, Sarah wants to know, does the picture need to be a professional headshot?
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, as much as possible, having it be a professional shot. Now, when I say that that you can have a very nice professional photo taken with a phone, with an iPhone. So what I recommend is a white or very light colored background, and you know, something that best represents kind of how you show up at work. So Adam, I'm going to pick on you. There you are. Now you'll notice Adam has a great picture. Somebody captured an awesome smile. And do you notice how his background matches the suit that he has on? So again, that all looks great against this beautiful backdrop of the St. John's campus. So again, if I don't know anything about Adam and I pop onto his page and all I can see is this background, I already know something about who he is. And then Adam, I'm going to go ahead and point out a couple other things that are on your page. So Adam's headline is the default on LinkedIn, which is your current title. So if Adam wanted to enhance this, you know, you might put, you know, helping to recruit students or alumni engagement, just other things about what you do. I always tell people this headline is both a description of who you are, and it's also the ways in which you like to help people. So you can think of it that way. His location is on here. Adam also has over 500 connections. You can see I've got 230 connections in common with Adam. And then again, as I scroll down, you can see the history of where Adam has worked. Oh, I forgot that you had worked at State Farm Insurance. And then of course we see the degree, and a lot of folks today list both St. John's and St. Ben's. Either is fine. And then as I scroll down, Adam has in his skills and endorsements area some things that he's worked in. And you can see here, this green box means that I have endorsed Adam for public speaking. And that is a really easy way. I call that like giving people a little gift in their day. So let me show you how you do that. I'm going to open up Adam's areas. So here are all the areas that Adam says that he has worked in or done work. And you can see here I've endorsed him for annual giving. Let's see if I can find something else to endorse Adam for today. Strategic communications would certainly work. How about fundraising? That sounds like a good one. Here's how easy it is to endorse Adam. I go to fundraising, I click on it, and now it's going to ask me, how do I know Adam? I'm going to put Adam is highly skilled in fundraising, and hit submit. I have now endorsed Adam for fundraising. Now, I want to bring up a good point here. People say to me, Judy, I don't have time to be on LinkedIn each week. It's too much time. Okay, here's my question for you. Do you have 3 minutes a day to help a few people? In 3 minutes a day, you can open up LinkedIn, read your messages, endorse 3 people, and like or comment on a post. 3 minutes a day, and I challenge you to make those 3 minutes count. So in this case, it took me about 10 seconds to endorse Adam. Now, Adam's going to get an email saying Judy Zimmer has endorsed you for fundraising. So again, it's like sending someone a little gift.
Judy, we have a couple more questions.
Great.
From Joe, he would like to know how to best leverage LinkedIn for a career change.
Got it. What's Joe? Let's see. Let me look on my list. Don't tell me, Joe. Let me guess what your last name is. Joe.
I can tell you, Judy.
Katu?
Yes.
Kotu? Am I saying it right?
Okay. That is correct.
Oh, and Joe, I get to show you a fun new feature because you notice that I wasn't sure how to pronounce your last name. So on LinkedIn, only on the phone app, there is a new pronunciation feature. And so rather than me guessing, is it Katu or Kotu, Joe, you can go onto the LinkedIn phone app and you can record the correct pronunciation of your name. And let me just, I'll just pop over to my profile to show you where that shows up. So I have that on my profile. It's right here. Do you see this little, I don't know what we call that symbol, bullhorn symbol? But if you click on that, you can hear me pronounce my name. Now, my last name usually isn't mispronounced, although I will tell you people add to my name and call me Judy Zimmerman all the time. Or they ask me if I'm related to Andrew Zimmern, which are 2 different names. But I have it on here so you can see this feature. Again, you can only add the pronunciation from the phone app, but once you add it on the phone, it gets added to your profile. So, all right, Joe, I am ready for your question.
So he just wants to know how to leverage LinkedIn for a career change.
Got it. Okay. So when it comes to looking for work, there's no doubt that LinkedIn is an amazing tool. So let me give you a couple ways. And now I just want you to know that this isn't like magic. I've never looked at Joe's profile before. We didn't rehearse this in advance, but let's pretend I'm a recruiter and I'm out looking for people. Joe's profile says he works in recruitment, project management, program development, equity and inclusion, leadership, and Spanish. And I'm assuming he means he can speak Spanish from that, but I'm only assuming. I also see that he has either volunteered or worked at Common Bond Communities, which is an amazing organization I'm quite familiar with. So I'm actually going to skip over, Joe, your About section for a second, because I want to get to your where you've worked. So, okay, so you're a talent engagement specialist at Common Bond. You've been there for a year and you have a really nice completed profile, by the way, Joe. So that's awesome. I see you've also worked as a recruiter in the position before. So here's what I'm starting to pick up on Joe right away. Okay, Joe has worked in nonprofits, 1 nonprofit, 2 nonprofits, 3 nonprofits, 4 nonprofits. And Pinnacle Airlines, I'm going to guess, is a for-profit. Now, Joe graduated with a degree in communications and Spanish and is from the Twin Cities, has been volunteering, getting down to skills and endorsements. Look what people are endorsing him for: recruiting, program development, and staff development. And then look what else he has. Some recommendations. He's received some and he's given some. So I want to see, do any of these mention, I'm going to guess, Joe, you want a job in recruiting at a nonprofit. So I'm looking for in this, is the word recruiting in here. The first one, don't see recruiting. Okay, that looks like it was from maybe a program. Let's see if we find recruiting in the second one. Nope. Open up the third one. So lots about your volunteer and or, again, nonprofit work. Now, Joe, tell me, are you looking for a job as a recruiter in a nonprofit?
And Joe, you can just put that right in chat. Let's see. He says he's looking to get out of it.
Oh, yay. Okay. Not because there's something wrong with it. Joe, tell me what area you'd like to work in.
HR business partner.
Awesome. Okay, so first of all, if there's anyone on this call who is currently an HR business partner, would you please hop into the chat box and leave your email address for Joe if you feel so inclined, or maybe you have a connection to an HR business partner. Joe, connect with me after this call. Just, you can go ahead and send me an email. Anyone can send me an email. It's judy@coachology.us. And of course, if you're connected with me on LinkedIn, you'll have access to that email. But Joe, I have lots of HR business partners I can connect you with. But here's a really good clue. If you're using LinkedIn to, let's say two different things. One is what Joe is doing, looking for something new in the way of work. Or let's say you want to showcase yourself as a thought leader in a completely different area that you've never worked in before. Let's say I want to be a mechanical engineer and I've never been a mechanical engineer before. The first thing I would tell you, Joe, is to get recruitment out of your headline as the first item. So what you want to have up in your headline is projecting your future. Okay, so we can attract our future by naming it, calling it out. So I would probably start with project management or program development. If you don't care if it's a nonprofit or for-profit, I would list both up at the top. And instead of Spanish, I would put, if you're fluent in Spanish, I would put fluent in Spanish. Because, by the way, very highly coveted skill that I bet if I asked everyone, what do we have, 88 people on this call, we might have one more person that's fluent in Spanish. So you really want to highlight that. But you want to project out in your headline and in your copy where you want to be. So if I wanted to showcase myself as a thought leader, as a mechanical engineer, I could write something in my about section that says, currently seeking out successful mechanical engineers for connection and networking. Now, I just put mechanical engineering in my profile, even though I've never worked in that area. See, LinkedIn is really tricky that way. And while no one has asked this question, I always love this question. What's the difference between my resume and my LinkedIn profile? Your resume is a look back in your career. Your LinkedIn profile should be a look forward. Where are you headed? Where are you headed? So, Joe, does that help?
You've got a couple connections on there as well for Joe. So
awesome.
Great to see. Looks like, yes, he said, yes, thank you. So we have another question from Anne. She says, how often or how much should you manage your network, i.e. no longer connected to some decades ago, from decades ago, that is?
I'm sorry, say the first part of it again.
How often or how much should you manage your network?
Got it. Again, a great question. And I'm assuming this is Anne Schallbetter Rivera. So nice to meet you, Anne. You want to be continuously connecting with folks. So again, if you hop onto LinkedIn every day, like I do for a couple minutes or once a week, really what you want to be watching for is, like, for example, Joe is going to be a new connection, or in this case, we are connected. So I want to look and see, what's Joe up to? What's he posting on? That type of thing. Here's a post about Common Bond. So Joe's talking about this. This is really easy for me to go on. By the way, I love the hashtag 50-year anniversary. I did not know that, but an easy way for me to engage with Joe is to hit the like button on his post. So again, if in your 3 minutes a day, you engage with people in your network, you're going to be able to stay up to speed with people pretty easily. Now, one of my favorite little things to do throughout the day, like I'll do searches on LinkedIn and I run across someone I haven't talked to in a long time. I just send them a little ping. Ran across your profile today, thinking about you, hope you're doing well. That's it. Easy way to stay in touch. Now, Ann, I know we need to manage our time. So
Yep. I'll do one more question for you, and then we'll close up the events today. So from Shanta, I've done, and by the way, if you've asked a question, I will send them to Judy, and we'll have her follow up with you as well, if that's okay with you, Judy.
Perfect.
But Shanta mentions she has done several changes on her profile, but is unable to document the training she's done on LinkedIn, which give her certificates. How does she add those that she wishes to be published on her profile?
Awesome. So Shanta, there is a section for certifications. Let me go over to your profile here 1 second. All right, Shanta Kerr. All right, there you are, Shanta. And so when you go into your profile, you can add a section. So right now, good job. You've got your about section. You've got some of your experience on here. You've got education, and you have licenses and certifications. That's awesome. And so there are sections for both volunteering and certifications. So for example, I'll just quickly pop over to my profile. And so you simply, at the top of your profile, you'll see a place where you can add sections to your profile. So you can see there I've got education, and then I've got licenses and certifications, volunteer experience. So Shanta, if you don't see where that section is to add on your profile, just simply send me an email and I'll be happy to follow up with you and help you to get that added. All right, and with that, again, I just want to go back to reminding folks to the top 3 ways to leverage the tool is to have your profile completed. If you can't find something on the tool, get a hold of me. I'll be happy to help you. Connect with as many Johnnies and Bennies as you can and get in touch with a student and help them out. And thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure to hang out with you this morning.
Thank you so much, Judy. We really appreciate your time. And I'm going to share my screen now. If we can do that, let's give it a shot. And we'll close up the event today. So please join us for our, hopefully you can see my slide now here. Hopefully, well, we hope you'll join us again on January 21st for our next Kickstart 2021 featuring Angela Bicchetti Alvig, CPA, a Benny from the class of 98. And I know I saw her name on the list here today, so hopefully she's enjoying the show. She's the founder and president of Simplify Wealth, LLC, and she'll share personal finance strategies, especially after the challenging 2020. And on January 26th, our final episode will feature Tim Mayer, a Johnny from the class of 2000, Director of Talent Acquisition at Kraus Anderson, who will talk about how COVID has and is impacting current hiring trends. You can register using the links on our respective pages, our respective event pages, that is. Finally, this Friday, January 15th, is the Csb Sdu Alum Referral Day. Don't forget to refer high school students and prospective students that are currently are in high school, and hopefully they'll be able to join us as new Bennies and Johnnies. This includes family, neighbors, sons, daughters of friends, etc. Encourage them to visit and consider CSB and SJU, then submit them online as a referral through our online form featured on our website at csbsju.edu. And that's all for today. So thank you all for joining us this morning and have a great day.